All right, hello everyone. We are live here at the Puppet Nerd Studio, and we have an unboxing. Friends at Bambu Labs were able to gift me a 3D printer, and my brother here is going to help me. Stand up, Phil. He's a very experienced 3D printer, and actually just purchased the exact same model. He lives in California, so he's not here often in Buffalo, but he's going to help me set it up and unbox it. Because again, I still have a lot of limitations in how I can move, specifically this arm and this leg, my left leg and arm. So he's going to be helping me set it up and unboxing it. And that's part of how or why Bambu Labs gifted it to me, is to help me keep making things in this condition. So very grateful for them. It's not a sponsor, and I'm not being paid for any of this. But they said they wanted my authentic reactions to this, and hopefully we'll start a print. We probably won't be able to see a finished print because it takes a while, but I'm working on another video that will be some of the first prints that we do, and we'll be printing some mechanisms at some point, which I'll make available. But anyway, let's get into it. Hopefully you guys can hear us all well. All right, you ready, Bill?
I'm ready. Yep.
Okay, we're going in.
Like Adam said, I've been 3D printing on and off now for about 10 years.
He's built a lot of his own 3D printers.
Yep, my first 3D printer was a mini Castle Delta design that really did a fantastic job. It was very accurate and very fast.
And he's even 3D printed his own 3D printers.
I have 3D printed parts for 3D printers, yes. That's, if you're not familiar with RepRap,
Just watch out for that, Mike.
that's a lot of what RepRap is about. It's 3D printing your own 3D printers. So once we open this box, and it's a pretty large box, you've got your packaging material inside. Bambu Labs does a great job packing this up. Excuse me, Adam.
Just don't drop it.
Yeah.
I'll sit down and get out of your way for a minute.
A couple things you'll want to have before you start. It's, of course, a box cutter for cutting the tape, but also snips for the cable ties. There will be a few cable ties in here. And the blade actually fell out of the knife while I was using it, but I'll just go ahead and cut that. And that.
You're going to have a couple sitting in there. You try to. I know I'm not much help at this point, but if you need...
I'll let you know if I need a hand, Adam.
Yeah.
But that's just the packaging material that was on top. From there, we get to the actual 3D printer. And a nice thing about buying this kind of printer is it comes pretty much already assembled. So we're basically just preparing it for use at this point.
That's really interesting wrapping there.
They do a great job packing this up. And when you order a Bambu Labs X1 carbon combo, they include a few partial filaments of a couple different types of 3D printing filament. This is your basic PLA. It's green. You've got a really interesting black carbon fiber 3D printer filament in here. And perhaps most interesting of all is the support for PLA, which, like it says, you use with PLA plastics. And this may be the type that dissolves in water for really intricate supports on delicate prints. So it's nice that they give you a couple of the more exotic filaments to work with.
I forgot, I got to give a shout out to my fellow YouTuber who's a 3D printing channel who was able to connect me with Bambu Labs, Uncle Jesse. If you look up Uncle Jesse, he's a very big, popular 3D printing YouTuber He makes incredible videos on all types of different 3D printers. Definitely check out his work as well. And yeah, he does amazing work. And they also, even though it came with this filament, they also sent us a package of filament too. So we'll have I'll have lots of filament. This is the extra box of filament they sent us too. How many is in there? 5?
Let me see. We got. What do you got?
I think I asked for ABS for
white ABS. This is what Bambu Lab sent in addition to the printer for my brother here.
black ABS.
More. Yep. This is black ABS. Silver ABS.
Did I get silver? Maybe ask for some fun.
Blue ABS. Red ABS. And purple ABS.
Nice. So
yeah, nice.
So 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Starter kit there.
As a puppeteer, personally, I like ABS the most because it's the same type of plastic that I would use for fabricating a lot of my other mechanisms. So for that reason, if I have something 3D printed and I just have sheets of ABS that I want to attach something to, it already all works together. So I know a lot of people use PLA, which is fine. I think I'd personally use a lot of that for test prints. But when it comes to the actual building of the puppet, personally, I like to do ABS. And also, something I like to do too is coat the ABS with some kind, depending on what it is. If it's something that's going to be, having sunlight on it or be exposed, I also like to coat the ABS with what's it called? A resin epoxy, like Smoothcast 300 or Smoothcast 65D. That's the one I typically use the most because it's versatile for roto casting and just regular casting. So there's a puppet build I've been working on kind of before I lost, in January before I lost the side. But I think I got far enough with it that I can still finish it in this condition. So hopefully that video will be coming out within a month or two. Hopefully sometime in May.
So once you remove the entire printer from the box, you'll find the door of the printer, packaged up on top. Or the top, excuse me, the top door. Remove the other tape from around here. There's some instructions we may need to refer to.
I think you need your own channel now, Bill. 3D printing nerd. Oh, I'm sure there already is a channel like that, but we got to come up with something for you.
Well, I can definitely talk about 3D
or maybe
printing.
You can be the Puppet Nerd's brother.
The Puppet Nerd's brother is probably my best claim to fame.
Oh, stop.
But my interests, I've got I'm a good resource on a lot of digital and mechanical and electronic technologies. But 3D printing is definitely one that I've got a good background in. And like I mentioned, take a look at this packaging, guys. Bambu Labs does a fantastic job. This is all custom packaging that they use to ship this to you, and it's you got to remove it before you try to use the thing. And I do recommend you hold on to it because, at least for a little while, in case you have any trouble with your printer, you can pack it up to go back.
If you remember how it goes back.
If you remember how it goes back together.
That's always my problem.
Yeah, that's a little tricky sometimes.
That's gorgeous. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like a little vending machine, a little drink vending machine for like little sodas.
Oh, kind of does look like a mini fridge, doesn't it?
Like a mini fridge for sodas that would be in an office. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a very positive way. And it's got a very industrial look, which is fun too. I feel like a lot of the home 3D printers have a more of a kitschy, fun look, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's nice having something slick. It really looks like it's a tool rather than a toy.
Yeah, this is a professional or a prosumer model. They recently came out with even, I don't know if I want to call it like a more prosumer or a more commercially targeted device. And it's basically this printer just with an Ethernet network interface.
So my brother has one of these. My dad has one of these, and now I have one of these. But the first time me and my dad saw one was when we went to visit Adam Savage's cave about a year ago, and I think he had just gotten one, and my dad got to see it up close, and it made him want to get one. And then he got it, and once my dad got it, I was like, you know what? It'd be so much easier for troubleshooting if I, get the same one he has. And then now you have one too, so I'm covered from all angles, I think.
Yeah, and I actually first went with Bambu Labs' A1, which is a great printer. I highly recommend the A1 for anyone getting started in 3D printing and that doesn't want to spend the around $1,800 you'll have to spend to get one of these. The A1 is a great unit. They did have an issue with the heated bed, and so they recalled it. And with the refund and credit they gave me, I threw in a few $100 more and got an X1 carbon combo for myself. This tool and accessory kit comes packed inside the printer, and this has basically all the tools you're going to need to put it together, as well as some tools for maintenance and some spare parts. Again, Bambu does a really good job just giving you everything you need. Also inside the printer, you can see this big unit here. This is the AMS. And the AMS is one of the really neat features of a Bambu Labs printer. It allows you to...
You know what AMS stands for?
The S stands for system, the M stands for material. I don't remember what the A stands for. We may have to look that up.
Automatic, maybe?
Maybe it's automatic material system. That makes sense. But basically, it allows you to automatically switch between 4 different filaments while you're printing, allowing multi-material or multicolor prints. I'll show you I'll show you the inside here. That is the AMS just sitting inside the printer. Also in that cardboard box is the display.
Ooh.
And the display very easily attaches. Let me rotate this again.
Am I right in saying that this can be controlled by a smartphone too?
Yes. Oh yeah, the Bambu Handy app is the app you're going to use. And Bambu Studio on the computer.
I can monitor from that, and
You can monitor and control,
like stop and start, and even upload a file.
I believe you can do all that. Yes.
Wow.
So untape your
and
FPC
the thing that makes it so
here.
much easier for me too, especially as a YouTuber, is that it has the camera inside, which is, I know it's kind of common, but it's just so nice to have it, because I have another 3D printer that I've been using before, and there's no camera. And my dad's like, just set up a simple camera. I'm like, yeah, but it's nice to not have to, just to make it automatic, not even have to think about it. So
no fasteners. It just slots right into place after you connect in the connector. So from there, we have to get the AMS out through the top. But it's, I believe it's kind of screwed down. Let's take a look at the quick setup and make sure we're...
Is this it?
There you go. Thank you. Yep, quick start. Okay, yep. So first step there is the removal of a couple screws. We find the appropriate Allen key. There we go. I got them both, so I'm not certain which one we're going to be using. And what I loved about this is how easy Bambu Labs makes it to set up. I hope you'll be able to see it on the camera. You can kind of see the red spots, right? They very clearly mark all the locations of the screws you need to remove. So now I'm going to rotate this some more so I can actually do that.
Sounds too bad.
But yeah, wherever you see the taped on red flags, that's where you're going. They're pointing towards screws. You just remove those screws, set them aside, and that should allow your AMS to be lifted out of the unit.
That glass there, that's for the top, right?
That's right. That's the top plate. So with those screws removed, I think that'll lift right up. And yep, there it goes. There's the probably automatic material system, AMS. And this is a great, if you're on the fence between an A1 and an X1 or their P1, you're probably weighing the AMS versus the AMS Lite. The AMS Lite works great. I didn't have any performance issues with it while I used it, but it's not enclosed. So experienced 3D printers know that as filament absorbs water, just some humidity in the air, it creates a lot of problems and can really affect your print quality. This printer, because it's an enclosed chamber, you can actually dry your filament in this printer. There's a pre-made factory setting for drying filament. It just heats up the chamber, dries out your filament. You might be faster doing it with a proper filament dryer or even in your oven at low temperature, but it's just nice to have the option. And this being enclosed with a little desiccant in there, this will keep your filament nice and dry. Where and clean, and your open frame AMS Lite just can't do that.
And I want to point out too, like as a puppeteer and a puppet builder, that's like super important because a lot of times we're using unusual materials. Oh wait, hold on.
Oops, I hit something.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can fix it. Fix that. Sorry, I don't know what I must have hit a button. It was going back and forth. That's funny. Sorry about that.
So again, as a puppet builder, so often I'm trimming fur and there's little follicles in the air or sanding things, and like dust can settle on it, and that's something that you do not want in your 3D printing, as well as other things.
Would you move the AMS for me?
I can try.
Where's a good spot for it?
I can put it on my lap over here.
Okay. So once you're inside the printer with the AMS out of the way, you'll see more of those nice red flags. Go ahead and remove all the screws that those flags are pointing to. And for these, I am using the larger of the two hex keys they provided.
See if it...
You'll find bits of styrofoam and packaging material. Just remove those as you find them.
Trying to see if it shows.
I think that might be too big. Is there a third?
You did exactly what Ernie did.
What's that?
Hit a button during the
Oh.
live stream like that.
Well, Ernie and I, we have a lot in common.
You do.
So this hex key looks like it's a little undersized for what I'm trying to do here now. Interestingly. Oh, there I go. But yeah, there are 4 additional screws. I'm sorry, 5 that you need to loosen to release the heat, the print plate.
Looks like it may have only done that for our side.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yep. So So I've got 3 of those 5 screws loosened so far. I'm not actually removing them, I'm just loosening them. They should be retained in this plastic bracket.
Let's see if they can.
Oh, maybe I can aim it better for this camera up here. Is that the one?
Does it help at all?
A little bit.
I can see something.
Yeah, you can see there's the flag there that I was
Yeah, and
referring
this
to.
foam's got to come out too, probably, right?
It will, yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. Most of these screws aren't much trouble to get to.
Being
This
a
last
backseat
one's a
driver
little
that
bit,
has no idea where we're even going.
this last screw is a little tricky to get to, but it's not too bad. Keep losing the tool. Let's see if I can get most of this out first.
Zoom out a little bit.
There we go. Pull it right out the top. So you see, like I said, the screws are retained in there. So you don't, like I said, you don't need to completely remove them. They'll come out with the bracket. The rest of the screws we need to remove are now going to be more accessible to us. All right, you can see the flag here, the one that I started working on. It's easy to do with the bracket out of the way. And the 2 that kind of lock in the Z-axis screws. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those. So one screw is out now. I'm about to get the second, and then there's just that last 3rd one, and that should be the last of the packaging screws in this unit. Oh, and you remove those screws, but you loosen those screws, but you don't remove the things that they're holding down. Those are actually part of the printer. It just holds the printer to the printer moving parts to the frame to prevent damage in shipment. And these screws you do remove, just like that. Find a little bit more packaging material, placed lovingly all over the printer here by the fine people at Bambu Labs. Actually, that'll be easier to get out once we get this moving. Just at least take some out. There we go. And actually, these plates come off too. These are parts that you may need to occasionally replace.
So one thing that Dad does all the time is he uses what is it? A glue stick?
Yep.
To be able to get is that something that you use too?
I have it, but I haven't had a need to use it yet.
Do you mind explaining why Dad uses it, just so people understand why I brought that up?
Sure. Glue stick.
Phrase the problem first.
Sure. One of the most common problems on 3D printing is bad adhesion. And it makes sense when you think about it, because you've got a part sitting on this plate. And on this unit, the plate only slowly goes up and down. But on others, the plate will move on one axis or another, or potentially both. And even if the plate's not moving, the print head is moving. So you have at least one, maybe two moving elements. And as the plastic is coming out of the nozzle is fused to the top layer, it's dragged a little bit by that print head. And if you don't have good bed adhesion, your part is going to go for a ride and you're not going to get a good print. So bed adhesion is one of the main issues that you have to manage.
Let me describe that a little simpler too. My dad phrases it as just sometimes he has trouble getting the piece off. It just sticks too tightly to it, and he doesn't want to break it when he or break the print when he takes it off.
Yeah,
he uses a little bit of glue stick, which seems to adhere it and make it come off easier, right?
I would think the stick usually mostly just helps it stay on, but getting the part off is certainly that's easy with these. You just flex it a little bit, it'll pop right off. Yeah, on my first printer, I had a borosilicon glass plate, and if something was really stuck to that, you can't flex that plate. You're gonna have a hard time getting that off. Yeah. And it wasn't often a problem for me, but when it was, it could be real tough. These flexible plates, I think Creality actually popularized them, but they're fantastic and they're super. I've never had trouble taking a part off since I started using flex plates. I took that off.
With the 3D printer that I had before, I never have trouble getting it off. It would always stay on for the whole print, but by the time, usually I let it print overnight, it'd finish overnight. By morning, it literally just jumped off from cooling. So I've never really had trouble.
So can we switch the camera feed?
Oh, yeah.
To the front. Thank you.
Let's see here. Love putting things on my keyboard there, huh?
Sorry.
Which one do we want? Whoop. Not that one. Not that one. 8. There we go.
Okay. So here we are now, mostly assembled. We're going to do the wiring connections next. So don't mind these parts. These are spare parts. Like that's a hot end. It's a great comfort. Take comfort knowing there's already a hot end installed. This is a replacement part if you need it. Everything is else is kind of pre-assembled and ready to go.
One thing I think people might be wondering, is this something that has to be connected to the computer?
It doesn't have to be connected to a computer at all. And I don't know that there's any salient difference.
So you use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or either?
This uses Wi-Fi.
Okay. So
what I'm doing around back here, I've got these two cables. These connect your printer to your AMS.
What is AMS? That's the
Advanced Material System.
That goes on top.
That's right.
Which I'll call the filament loader.
There you go.
Or I should probably call it the AMS because that's what it is.
So actually, we'll connect those up later since they go with the AMS. You got your power cord over here. On some printers, you have to select whether you're using a US voltage or European voltage. This one looks like it doesn't need that. You just
did yours?
Nope. And then there's a rocker switch in the back. We can go ahead and turn that on. It'll make some noise. You'll see the Bambu Lab logo come up there. There's a calibration process that the printer undergoes that's actually really interesting. Let me go around the other side. All right, so first, of course, we're going to select English for our language. It asks you for your region, North America. And then there's Wi-Fi. So Adam, you're Fluffy, right?
Yep.
Okay. So turn it around to do the password.
You know it, right?
I don't actually. So if you want to type it or.
It's, I think it should be speak root. Should be speak root.
No, let's see.
Yeah, so.
We'll try that out. One thing to note is this is 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi only, so most household routers use both 2.4 and 5.8. But if yours is only doing 5.8, you may need to make a change to your router settings. That didn't seem to work. Just draw lowercase.
Yeah, all okay.
Let's try it
Did it
again.
not work?
I'll try it again.
Because if not,
Ooh, I just butchered the spelling there. Hang on.
if it's not that, then it's this.
Let's see.
No capitals.
Yep. Okay. It'll probably be that. Let me do that. Okay. And we're connected.
Beautiful.
Yep, turn it around again and we'll continue. Confirm and hit next. Adam, you should do this on your phone.
Okay.
Go ahead and download the Bambu Handy application.
All right. Let me do that right now. Bambu Handy.
When this is edited and made live, maybe we put that at the front.
Yeah.
And once you have that app up, hand your phone to me and I'll scan the QR code.
All right. It's loading.
Mm-hmm. This is also a good time, if you have one handy, to go ahead and insert a micro SD card. That'll enable you to do things like time-lapse video and other,
And can I download that from my phone?
You can download the video to your phone, but it's got to first be recorded to an SD card in the control unit. If you don't have an SD card in there, you won't have the option.
All right. I've got it downloaded.
So here in the Bambu Handy application, we're going to tap devices. Can you see that okay? Kind of. We'll hit bind printer. And actually, you also got to create an account. So go ahead and decide whether you want to use Facebook, Google, or something else.
All right. To proceed, please agree to the Bambu. How do I agree?
But we have to expand it and then scroll to the bottom.
I want to authenticate with Google. It's not letting me. I'll create an account. Okay. Hey, what the heck is it doing? Oh, do I have to hit that? Oh, I see.
Bambu Labs also has the Maker World site with a lot of great 3D printable items available for download. And, there's other sites that have that sort of thing, and I love them all. But a great thing about Bambu Labs Maker World is that the prints include the print settings for Bambu Labs printers. So,
And you have to type in those settings, or does it automatically?
Automatically included with the file.
You can't
download.
beat that. Oh my gosh! And I can upload files there too.
Sure can.
Can you sell files there or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It might all be public license.
That's fine.
So Adam's
Most of
going to
my-
go back to setting up his application. We're going to go back to the printer. He's all set. We're going to agree to these license things. We'll let them have their diagnostic data. And now we're going to get into that calibration that I mentioned. And this is something where Bambu Lab has really pioneered some of this stuff, at least in the consumer and prosumer market. And it sets their printers head and shoulders above competitors. Some of their competitors are now starting to do this, but I don't think any of them do it quite as well as Bambu Labs.
I feel like I'm crazy. I can't find US.
So I'm tapping calibrate.
Oh, United States. Here it is.
What's going on there is the bed raised. Oops, I left some packaging on that. Let me get that off. But yeah, now our print head and our print bed are moving around. The first step is it's going to complete the homing process. What's going on inside here is end step switches, stepper motors, things like that. Basically telling the microcontroller in the printer where the end is. So it'll find one end, then find the other end, and kind of lock those values in at every step in between. When you see it shake around and vibrate like that, that's a really, really interesting process that it's doing. It's basically finding the resonant frequency of the printer on the surface that it's on. And because of that, you'll want to recalibrate when you move this printer to a different location. Like when we set it up where your old one is now, Adam, we'll run this calibration again. And it just allows for quieter printing and better print quality. It does take a few minutes, so we'll let that continue. You'll hear it hum and even buzz as the frequency gets higher. Why don't you hand me the AMS, Adam, and I'll get working on that.
Okay.
You'd also want to have the AMS on it when you calibrate, because it's going to change the resonant frequency of the unit.
How do you get URLs? Yeah, if I didn't know any better, that would scare the heck out of me.
Yeah, knowing what it does, I find very interesting. None of my other printers ever did that, so it's a new thing that Bambu Labs has really brought to the industry, and like the entire 3D printing industry is better because of it. I'll run through after the calibration process what connections I'm making back here. In fact, I'm going to leave some connections for when we haven't turned around. You'll hear that humming and buzzing and some shaking around. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just the printer calibrating for its kind of noise cancellation features, things like that. We should go ahead and load up your AMS too while we're letting this printer calibrate.
Let's do it.
You got 4 slots. What colors do you want in there?
Oh, there's 4? There's 5 slots.
There's 4 slots, and then
I
there's
definitely
the
want a
spool
black,
holder.
a white, and let's do a pink because I'll probably 3D print a Hubble soon.
Where are the boxes? So I've got, in addition to white and black, Adam, we've got blue, silver, red, and purple.
Let's do black, white, pink, and blue.
I'm going to give you purple and blue because we don't have pink.
We don't have pink?
No, I've got red and purple.
Oh. Maybe I have my own pink. Which is fine. We won't get to that now.
If you think you got pink, I'll just load 3 up and go.
Might be a PLA though.
You just can't print them together.
Yeah, it's fine.
You still print them.
So set that way.
The Bambu Labs printer works with any 1.75 millimeter diameter 3D printing filament. If you get the Bambu Labs filament, they have NFC tags on them that the AMS can read, and it'll automatically load in the correct temperature and extrusion settings, which is extremely convenient.
So the noises it's making now, what is it doing?
It's calibrating, and it's like learning where the print head is inside the unit, learning where the bed is in the unit, and also analyzing the noise it's making, being on this surface with this on top of it.
So that just sits there. It's not like
This just sits on top. Yeah, it's not really attached by any
that's
means.
interesting. It's kind of cool. I like that. So it can cut and change colors during print, right?
It'll cut and change colors, and it'll have to flush the old color out.
Yeah.
So
Purging it. Yeah.
yeah, it'll purge. It'll come out this chute here in the back. It's lovingly called the poop chute
I love it.
on Bambu Labs printers.
Is it the official title?
I'm not sure.
I doubt it.
I'm skeptical, but that's what everyone calls it.
Okay.
So they'll give you a bunch of these PTFE tubes. You actually don't need some of them. Some of them are extras. Like
Should we do the down camera?
if we can point it over here.
Yeah,
sure.
we can do that.
All right, so they give you a bunch of these PTFE tubes.
So obviously this is not going to live on this table. We're just setting it up. So when we move it to the spot where it's going to be in my office, does it have to redo this calibration at all?
Not the entire process, because it still will know where the print head and bed are.
So just
But you'll
more
have
so
to do
for
the
leveling for
noise
the-
cancellation and resonant frequency kind of calibration. Yeah, actually, we're not going to use any of these right now because this here goes into the back of the printer, and that's all the PTFE tubing that I believe you need for this.
And you got the AMS for yours too, right?
I do. Yep, I have the exact thing you've got here. So you got 4 slots in the AMS. You find the end of your filament, and you want it unrolling forward in the unit. We'll snip that off. Rather than just removing the tape, I like to snip it because I don't want any filament residue kind of getting into the printer. Once you have your filament end, you can start feeding it into the AMS and into the appropriate port. And once it's caught, you can stop and it'll kind of auto feed from there. Their boxes are actually good to keep for just filament storage. They come with a little desiccant bag.
Can also make
That
nice
way-
puppets out of them.
I suppose. Oh, another neat thing about these spools is these spools are reusable. When you buy a Bambu Labs filament, you have the option of getting it without the spool. It'll ship on a little temporary cardboard spool. You remove that and pop it onto your empty spool, and it saves you a little bit of cost, saves some materials. It's just a nice way to do business.
Environmentally.
Yep. When you're doing refills, just make sure that you are putting the right filament on there, because the NFC label of the original filament is still what's going to be red.
So I plan on using Bambu filament just to keep. I have a feeling that a lot of times using the filament from the producer is just best practice. But would there be any problem with using other filaments? Do you find?
You can use other filaments. What you got to take care of though is make sure you're still buying from reputable sellers and buying good quality filament. And you'll have to manually input the settings for the specific filament you're using. That you can do all that, but you really can't beat the convenience of having it read by the AMS and just handled by the printer automatically. And Bambu Labs filament is quite reasonably priced, especially if you buy the refills. So I'm using that too, and I don't plan to change.
Just put that silver one in there so we don't have an empty hole.
You want the silver one in there?
Yeah, just put something in there so it's all full. Or what's the other option? Purple?
You've got red, purple, and silver.
Actually, Fred might like the red.
You will occasionally, if you're printing with different materials, run into errors because the bed temperature and nozzle temperatures might be too incompatible. But as long as you're printing with just different colors of the same plastic, or you, for example, using the support material designed for use with that filament, you should have no problems at all.
Are there ever any colors that affect the pigment of the print? Because I know, again, it's a strange comparison, but I know, like, specifically with like glass work and glass blowing, the pigment can heavily affect the way it melts and whatnot. Is that just not the case with plastics?
That's a great question. I'm not sure, but as long as you're using the built-in filaments,
yeah,
the built-in settings, you should definitely always be safe. Let's see if that completed the calibration. Calibration complete. We'll hit next.
Now we got to clean up this mess.
You want to switch cameras again?
Oh yeah. Just go forward.
I think so. What is it? 3? No. 8. There we go. All right. So I hit next earlier. I did notice a little bit of styrofoam in here still. We're going to hit start printing. Check our notifications.
What are you printing?
Nothing yet. We're going to the settings.
Okay.
It's got your link to your account.
Does it? I'm assuming it has something baked in that we can just hit, like those little bunnies or those little boats or something, or is that something you have to upload?
It'll have some built-in test prints.
Yeah.
There is a firmware.
Yeah, I'm
update.
fine. We should just hit print on something too, so we can.
We'll do the quick firmware update first.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
It doesn't take too long. And while that works on, I'll grab that last piece of styrofoam that I saw.
So where does it cut and switch the color? Inside of this AMS?
Not inside the AMS. There's a cutter in the print head.
One tube coming out the back here.
Only one is going to be fed. It'll just retract.
Oh, it retracts.
And then it'll feed the new one through.
That seems complicated.
They figured it out.
Yeah, they did.
And you can actually get up to 4 AMSs with one printer if you get the AMS hub. And I think that's like a $50, $60 add-on for that hub.
Which that sounds very reasonable.
It's pretty reasonable to get more. I mean, you can do up to 16 colors and materials, which is incredible. So I couldn't see that from here, but it's actually right down there. And the print head's in the way. So I'm not going to be able to get that right this minute. We're downloading. That's going to be a few minutes. I don't know if there's anything else you want to kick around.
Wait, what's going to be a couple minutes?
The firmware update.
Okay. Yeah, we can. We have a little chat.
Good deal.
Chat about 3D printers. Can they see you?
I'm kind of obscured behind the printer, but if I move a little bit.
Stand up then. Stand up.
That's better. Do you want me to move the AMS?
Sure. Just over a little bit.
Put the
see what we can do here.
Put the top back on first.
Hey everybody. Looks like we're doing some 3D printing, huh?
We're trying, Hubble.
What are you setting up here?
This is a Bambu Labs X1 carbon combo.
Wow, that sounds fancy.
It is the top of the line prosumer 3D printer on the market right now.
Wow, I can't wait to start printing.
Well, it's
there might be some 3D printed pieces of me coming up soon.
What do you need? You think you need braces?
Braces would be nice. I want to get some mechanisms, some eye blinks, some ear wiggles.
Glasses?
Glasses would be great.
Sure.
all kinds of fun stuff.
Maybe some pants.
So, what do you think 3D printing is? What's the best use of 3D printing?
Some of the greatest uses for 3D printing are rapid prototyping and kind of iterative design.
What does iterative design mean?
Well, when you're designing things, it's just on paper, or on the computer screen, and it can be difficult to really understand how different pieces will fit into an assembly, or just how something will really kind of look and feel until you have it in your hand. And a 3D printer is great for that.
So that's just a longer way of saying what you said first, which is rapid prototyping.
That might be fair.
Okay. He's known for over-explaining. Right?
I suppose.
So what should Bill's channel be? Since he's a 3D printing expert. Puppet Nerd's Brother YouTube channel? Go ahead, leave it in the comments. I'll be back.
Let's
see if
check
I
on
can
the
get
update.
up now. Yeah, I'll need a hand. If you don't mind. Oh, 2 hands. Shoot, hold on. Shouldn't have came down.
Okay, get it under you.
There we go. Shoot.
You get your legs under you again?
Yeah, I got my legs under me.
Whew. Firmware has been updated.
Firmware is updated.
Motor noise cancellation.
Hopefully that wasn't too cringy for all you fellow puppet nerds out there.
It's prompting us to say that the motor noise cancellation.
Printer nerd, they said.
Updated.
Printer nerd.
Printer nerd.
Yeah.
Okay, well, give that a like, and maybe that's what we'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll do that later since we're gonna move this printer anyway.
Okay.
But
oh, here's another one. Your own. Look at the screen there. Some weird
3D printing nerd. Oh, I know that guy. That's Sam.
Yep. Other nerd.
Other nerd. So here's some things we can do as test prints. You want to do a Benchy?
What is that?
Benchy's the boat.
Oh, I hate those boats. But yeah, go ahead. Just do it. I shouldn't say I hate those boats. I don't hate them. There's not many things in life that I hate. Sometimes the market is oversaturated with things. And like anytime I go to a maker fair, I'm like, those things are everywhere. I'm just like, test something different.
Well, I'll tell you why people like Benchy as a print.
Yeah.
As a test print, because you've got angles, you've got curves, you've got overhangs. You have a lot of the things you want to test on a 3D printer.
Okay.
So
again, I'm not saying that there's no reason for it.
It can be annoying. There's great test print cubes that you can do. There's all kinds of different test prints.
Well, it's just like a pet peeve of mine with a lot of things, like with movies too. Like there's a lot of actors that I like, but sometimes I need a break from them because they get too much work. Like I would say for the last, 10 years, there's kind of been oversaturation of Chris Pratt. And I love Chris Pratt. Nothing wrong with him at all. But he's been in everything. All those Marvel movies, and then voicing Mario, and now he's going to be voicing Garfield. Like, why is he voicing Garfield? Again, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's just like, let's change it up a little bit. Anyway, that's my soapbox.
Okay. So I'm going to show you some of the features on this printer. If you go to the settings, or the utilities tab, there's a device self-test, a calibrate, and there's that dry filament feature that I mentioned earlier. If you've got some filament that you've had out of the package for a while, you need to dry it out, you can just set it on the print bed, hit this dry filament, and it'll prompt you to select what type of filament you're drying and give you the steps right there on the screen. Which is a really nice feature to have built in. These are the models that are already in the printer, built in. If you have any on the SD card, it'll tell you, but we just stuck that SD card in there, so it doesn't have anything like that. So it's saying there's not enough space on the SD card. We may just need to format it first, and I'm not sure if we can format it from the printer. These are your print options. We'll enable the AI monitoring. enable detection of the build plate position and first layer inspection. We don't need to print files to the SD card. That's not going to do anything for us right now, I don't think. And I'm not anticipating any step loss issues, but so we'll leave that option unchecked as it isn't by default right now. I do have to connect to the AMS, so I'll turn it around so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Make sure it's in focus too. If you have to, you can.
Yeah, I think some of the times the screen is out of focus pretty bad.
It's the ring on that upper camera, or I should say the middle one.
Might be all right. But basically, you've got two cables that come with the printer and the AMS. You got one here that's got, I'll make sure I'm in the frame here. It's got a 90-degree connector. Let me see if I can adjust that focus a little bit. The outer ring or the inner?
I don't remember. Whoops.
Oh, that's not the one that we're using right now anyway.
Oh, it's not?
Nope. So we'll just keep going. So the 90-degree
Really?
section goes actually underneath. You can't see it if you're just looking at the printer. You got to get a little bit under it. And because it's keyed here, it'll only go into one way.
I gotta tell you, for any type of cord, I love 90-degree cords. They don't do it enough.
They help a lot. I don't know why this was at 98 on this side, but
All outlets or outlet plugins should be 90-degree, I think.
There ought to be a law. This
UK will do it. The USB-C was first.
it's coming.
It's coming.
This here goes to your AMS. You see, these guys are 4-pin connectors. These are 6.
Is that power for?
Power and data. It's the only connector to the AMS. It's got 2 spots, and it doesn't matter which one you use. If you later get an AMS hub, this will allow you to kind of connect them different ways, I guess. So I've gone ahead and connected the AMS, and it's already starting to move around.
And what's that boat called?
Benchy is the name of that
Benchy.
boat.
I saw a guy at Open Sauce last year who had a Benchy hat.
Yeah, really, like an actual big 3D model hat.
Big 3D printed modeled hat.
That's fun. I hope you didn't hate on the guy too much.
No, I didn't hate on him at all. I did do a. I don't want this to come off the wrong way because I didn't do it in a mean way, but I just did a like a deep sigh, not visual eye roll in my head. It's like, oh, that darn boat. But again,
I didn't do it in view of the camera, but I did take the PTFE tube that came pre-installed in the AMS, and I went and installed that in the port right above the 6-pin connector on the main body of the 3D printer. So now that it sees it has an AMS, you'll see that it's accurately identified each of the filaments inside: blue ABS, black ABS, white ABS, and red ABS. You could put a 5th one on the spool holder, Adam, but I'm not doing that, and I didn't attach the spool holder. That's what this is here. And the way you're going to have it set up back there, you won't be able to get at the spool holder anyway.
okay.
So let's leave that out.
It's fine.
What do you want to print first? Why don't we do a white Benchy?
Do a red Benchy.
Red Benchy.
Or do a blue Benchy.
Blue Benchy.
Blue Benchy.
So what I'm doing on the touch screen here is I'm just tapping to select the filament we want to use. It's in position A1. I'm going to hit load. To load, it heats the nozzle. And I notice it lowered it a bit. So.
We're gonna go
Still not gonna let me get
also
styrofoam.
on Instagram Live now.
So it's giving us instructions right here. So it's heat the nozzle. I think that's what it's doing. And it's pulling the filament along. It's on stage 3, which is purging old filament. Of course, there was no old filament in there, but it's going to just use some of that old filament to clean itself. It's loaded. So back to here. We're going to do it in. Does it not want to do it in ABS? It's not giving me. It's not letting me tap those. Maybe we have to find a different test print. What's this thing? I think a lot of these test prints might just be designed to use PLA. Really? But here, grab your phone. Let's do it from the app.
No, I was just about to stream from my phone.
The Instagram folks will have to catch up with us in a bit. Maybe we can make you a tool. Let's do this in ABS.
There you go.
Okay. So here from the app, so I'm looking for notifications on here. Model, insert test prints. Let's see if we can actually get this benchy for use in ABS. So hit prepare to print, X1 carbon. I'm not sure how I changed the filament for it.
Have you used yours much? Because I know you got it pretty recently.
I've used it a bit.
What? How long ago did you get it?
Just a few days ago.
Oh, really? Days, not even a month, huh?
Not a month yet, no.
Sorry to pull you away from it so quickly.
That's okay. Happy to be here. For some reason it says your printer's offline.
Unless your kids are messing with my Wi-Fi.
I hope not. Just trying to. The nozzle is preheated. And what I'll do is I'll drop.
I'm gonna run to the restroom quick. I'll be right back.
With it homed, I'm gonna go ahead and try again. I just wish this gave us an option to print it in ABS or not. Well, that's okay. We'll do it up differently. Next one, no, it's not giving us options to change the filament. On their desk, I usually print from their desktop application, which I'm a little more familiar with. Takes a little quicker than ABS to end. I lost it. I don't know how to use my iPhone.
Hi, Dad.
I think that should be empty. Oh, the printer has to go on and cooling down on us. Maybe we just go for it. No. I'm trying to do that. Maybe we load in a PLA just to start that test print. That's what I'll do. Did that green PLA get off too? Squirt, fiber. There we go.
Are you printing ASMR?
Some people don't like using PLA, but it's I think it's a great material because it's derived from nature. It's I believe it's corn based. It doesn't dissolve or anything or break down super fast. It actually, and that's actually a common misconception about PLA. While it is biodegradable, it takes a long time. It takes years for it to fully biodegrade, and I wouldn't try, for example, composting with it or anything like that. But it's one of the more environmentally friendly plastics. A lot of 3D printing films are recyclable, but PLA will actually break down naturally eventually, which I like about that. A lot of things I print are not intended to last forever. But I'm going to go ahead and load the blue PLA. I'm sorry, the green PLA, and we'll do a test print with that. should go ahead and load material from position A2.
That's the blue.
What I went and did, I loaded in the sample PLA they gave us because that is what it wants to do the dust model in, and I can't find how to change that on your phone. And I also accidentally got out of the Bambu Handy app, and I don't know how to use iPhone well enough to find it again. So
Okay.
that's that. That's for you there.
Bam. Do you need it then?
I don't think so. Why don't you pull up the app though, and let's just see what it says.
Is that
So I'm on the devices tab on the application, and it looks like it might be started.
It's probably gonna heat up, right?
Yeah, it's going to take a minute to heat up. I'm watching that now.
Does it say an estimate on how long the print will take?
It had.
It lets you scale it too? On it?
I don't know if it does it on the app. I know in the desktop program you can do all that.
Of course.
So I believe what it's doing now is it's heating the bed. It's got a target temperature of 55 degrees Celsius, and it's at 46.
Can we set it to record it too?
You'd have to format the SD card first.
I don't want to do that because I'll lose whatever's on there, right?
Well, you can see what's on it. You want me to pop in this new one?
Just pop in the new one, yeah.
Okay.
I can reformat it if I need to, or just get another new one. I know it's it's huge for what it's.
I don't know where that is.
I think it's like right under that keyboard or something. Just watch out for hitting buttons.
There's in a package. Maybe got knocked down or something. Let's see.
Get knocked down. Back it up again.
I don't know if it's going to be due mid-flight in any case, but
No, forget it then.
It's a 21-minute print between
that's not bad.
The prep process and printing. You can monitor the status of it too.
Cool.
So what it's doing now is we had already loaded the blue ABS, so it just unloaded that, and now it's loading in the green PLA.
Well, I can see it going in the back here.
I don't know if we can move that enough to watch the poop shoot, but we can show printer pooping.
Is it going to do that for this, even though it's not changing color?
Yeah, it'll do like one. It should anyway.
I mean, if you really want to.
It'll do.
I just leave it.
We'll keep the kid friendly.
You could also just record that bit on your cell phone. I could pop it in when we edit it.
I'm not sure exactly what it's going to do. Is it the nozzle is heated? Yep, it's actually going to be something. Okay.
Can the camera see well through the glass? Or no, not at all.
I'm not sure.
Vertical? How dare you? Is that what you teach your children too?
It'll be a short, so it'll be fine. I thought I heard it, but
Vertical video?
Are shorts vertical? That's the back of the printer. Hop on the camera feed in the app, Adam. Let's see what it's doing.
Where do I see that? If anything, I'll down shot on that.
Okay. No, maybe it's not Maybe we missed it. I think what it's doing there is bed leveling. It's going to touch different parts of the bed, make sure it knows where everything is.
This is the feed on my phone. You can see how my finger smudges. Let me go back to this.
Oh, you can feed right from your phone. That's cool.
No, I just pointed the down camera at my phone.
This is the automatic bed leveling process. On printers that don't have automatic bed leveling, it's a very simple procedure that you should do before you print most every print. And it's just another step in the process. It's not complicated or very time consuming, but it's a minor nuisance and it's great. Auto bed leveling is one of the greatest features to have in a printer, and this one's got it.
Again, that's why I recommend with tools trying to get the best ones you can, again, within your ability, especially things that can cut out other steps, because that's just more time. So 3D printers were something I actually was not interested in for a long time, because to me, it was less making. I like making physical things, and to me, having something just printed wasn't part of the making process. But then when I really started to think about it, it's a time saver. It's like building two things at once. It can be printing a piece of a puppet while I'm working on another piece. So it's a whole time saver. So again, and by getting things that are self-leveling, keep dust away, that just also saves you time from other maintenance and having to fix things or avoiding problems when you just want the thing to work. So something that my friend told me with buying tools was cry once. You have two choices. And again, it's not something that everyone can do in all situations, but you have two choices. You can get a cheap tool and cry every time you use it, or you can cry once when you pay for it, and hopefully it works the way it should every single time. So I like to cry once.
Cry once, cry once.
So that's what I do with a lot of my tools. Like, I'm a Milwaukee guy, if you haven't noticed, even from the cup. I make great tools, so you can always rely on them. Same thing with Bambu. So again, not a sponsor.
Right now it's just calibrating extrusion, which is another uncommon feature that Bambu is making now.
What is that feature again, you said?
Calibrating the extrusion rate. So basically the feed rate. It's interesting how that's done too. It's got a camera in it, and it's extruding filament at different rates while it moves the head at different rates, and it's measuring to make sure the right amount is coming out.
Let me see if we can get that Instagram thing up. Hello.
Bill?
Bill?
Is it okay if I take Abby to the Arby's now? Sorry, I want to interrupt your live stream.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Hey, we've now got the beginnings of a benchy printing up there. Bambu printers are also, compared to other XY type printers, they're very fast. And they can be fast and still put out great results because of that calibration process that they do. The screen turns off automatically after a few minutes. If you just tap it, it'll come back up and give you the status. This print looks like it needs another 17 minutes. Oh, I see, Roger, your comment there, asking if it came with a preloaded SD card. I don't believe so. If mine did, I never found it, and I didn't see one in Adam's package. We have an SD card here for it, but it's not formatted, so we just kind of skipped that step. The preloaded test prints are actually built right into the memory on the printer. I didn't realize that the P1s did. That's interesting. I wonder if they skipped it on the X1 because it's got the built-in storage. Maybe they didn't see it as necessary. Hi, Alaska. I work in the electronics industry, so I can go like a little deeper dive on that. And actually, we got some time to kill, so why don't we? A lot of the open source printer designs use Arduino Megas that have Atmel, which is now microchip processors on them. Some of the other printer boards have ST Micro STM32 based boards, and a lot of them integrate some onboard storage, and they have to, right, for the programming. If you have enough, you can also put some of those models that you might want to do test prints with. And if you've got more storage, I guess you can skip sending out that preloaded SD card. That's my guess anyway, on why they include it with the P1 but not on the X1.
Responding to comments?
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I'm not certain what the processor is inside an X1, but I'm going to have to look into that later.
So people on Instagram are setting up a Bambu Labs printer. We've been streaming on YouTube for the last hour. If you go to the Puppet Nerd channel, check it out. We're doing our first print now. Hopefully this will be edited down into a single video. It'll be a little easier to consume. But if you want to get the full experience, it's up right now. Go ahead and check it out.
I'll let the screw around there.
Sure. Have to do another treatment soon too.
Do you? This Benchy's coming along nicely. Because of the tint, you can't see well inside the printer. Can I open it and show you? Still can't see too much. That's the Benchy underway there. 14 minutes to go on that. It's going fast, though. It might not need.
Yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to upgrade too, is because the one that I have does a good job, but it is way slower. Dad was telling me, so me and Dad were doing some of the same prints, and one print would take me 3 days, and it would take Dad like 9 hours.
He sees that difference like in his office because he's got his old MakerBot.
Yeah.
And a print that would have taken, like you said, days on the MakerBot is done in hours on the Bambu.
Yeah. So
to put it into numbers, the speeds and feeds on a older 3D printer would commonly be between 30 and 60, maybe 75 millimeters per second print speed. These operate at, I want to say, 240 millimeters per second print speed and even faster movement. So these things are just flying around the print bed. It is really something to see if you're used to the older printers.
Yeah, and even the one that I have isn't that old.
No, but like these guys are really
It's definitely
moving the whole
lower
industry
end
forward.
consumer level.
Some neat things about the interface, and you can look at this on the app or you can look at it on the built-in display. But you've got that right now it's 44 out of 192. That's the number of layers. Each layer is 0.2 millimeters high. So with a little math, you can figure out how high your model is doing that. But yeah, this is it's on layer 40. Well, now layer 47 out of 192. This print was done with standard infill settings, no rafter brim, so it's actually a really good test of pad adhesion too. This is right out of the box. No treatments applied.
What do you mean no treatments applied?
I like that glue stick we talked about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No glue stick, no tape, no nothing holding this on. It's just right on the back. How well is the Instagram for you to see the display?
Not great, probably.
Move that at all, maybe?
No, we can probably stop it. Just take it down. Let me just hand me the phone.
There's the screen.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. You can.
Get it?
All right. For if anyone's still watching this, yeah, we were just setting up the 3D printer. It's streaming live on YouTube if you want to see the full thing there. Hopefully, it'll be edited down into a more consumable video, so you can actually learn more of it. But again, the entire stream is up right now, and we are close to getting through our first test print, which is just a PLA boat. What's that benchy it's called? But we'll be using it for a lot more things coming up. And again, thank you to Bambu Labs for sending this my way. Again, not sponsored, but seems so far to be a pretty quality machine. And I'm excited to get deeper into it. And again, thank you all for your support and checking this out. See you soon. Bye.
When the print is finished, I'll go over the test print and we'll kind of review the quality of it. I already see one layer line, and I'm wondering if that was caused when I opened the door.
Probably.
It caused a little chamber temperature
Yeah.
change. But everything else looks really, really good.
7?
Mhm.
That's nuts.
Did Maria get back with the haircuts yet, or she's on?
I don't know. Let me check. Just give me a second. No, that was Chris who came in. So I doubt it.
The time-lapse videos I thought it basically snaps the picture every layer, so it looks like the parts just growing out of the.
Yeah, I love that. You don't even see the
You
nozzle.
don't see anything moving
Yeah.
around. You just see the layer by layer. Really nice comics on the street.
Oh, nice. Let me take a peek here.
It's 5 minutes to go on benching.
Thank you for this comment here. Very sweet.
Connor, the printer setup went pretty smoothly. We're doing an initial test print. It's going to be the famous Benji, the little boat that everybody prints as a 3D print test. The print is 80% done. It's got just a few minutes left to go. Hopefully have a seaworthy Benji out here in just a minute. If you watch, you can see the AMS pull the green filament along. It's a great device. Just finished building the arch on Benji. A few millimeters left to go.
What's the time say?
3 minutes.
Wow, I can't believe that. How tall would you guess it is by looking at it?
Well, I don't have to guess. We can just do the math. Pull up a calculator.
All right, I can do math. All right, what is it?
192 times 0.2.
38.4.
It's 38.4 millimeters high. Actually, that may be awesome. I'm not sure if you're doing 0.2 or 0.4 millimeters.
So that's about 1.5 inches tall. Does that look right?
I think we might have needed to use 0.4. So 0.2. Try it with 0.4.
Say it again. Say the numbers again. I'll do it.
192 times 0.4.
Times 0. 76.
Maybe about 3 inches.
76.8.
No, I think we're 0.2. We'll see in a minute. We're doing the roof now of the bench, so all we have left to do is this little spout up on top.
Yeah, that'd be 3 inches. Does it look like 1/2 inch or double that? I mean, 1.5 inches or double that? 3 inches. Pretty stark difference between 1.5 inches and 3 inches. So
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be the small one. Watching a 3D printer print can be fun when you're new to it.
Yes.
It does get boring to watch after a while.
Again, that goes back to what I was saying before, where it allows you to work on other parts of your project. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not usually a thing you sit and watch. If you've never seen a Delta 3D printer, though, those are a bit more dynamic to watch. And if you're new to 3D printing, look up a video of a Delta 3D printer. They are interesting to watch. That's the kind that I built 10 years ago for my first 3D printer. If you want to look at the specific design, that was called a mini Kossel. So MINIKOSSEL.
Thanks for your support, Spirit Green. Appreciate getting a copy of my book. I was really proud of that. And actually, in hopefully within a week or two, I'm having a hardcover come out just because it was requested. It's a little bit more, unfortunately. One thing I just want to say about the prices, it's not something that I set completely because it's print on demand, and I make virtually nothing on the book. I shouldn't say virtually. I make like $4 to $5 on a book sale, which is fine. But I have a hardcover coming out soon too of the exact same book, because I found that a lot of libraries only want a hardcover copybook because of longevity. So if that's something people are interested in, it's coming very soon. As well as I wrote a chapter book that I'm really excited about that's also going to be coming out very soon. So if that's something you want to keep an eye out for, I'll be announcing it hopefully this coming month.
It's lowering the plate now, but I'll just pull it off. Look at that. It's like fresh baked cookies.
Look at that. Beautiful. Ernie's going to love it.
These lines here are just from nozzle clearing and calibration. You should remove these after every print.
So look at that. That is smooth.
Let me take that and do a deeper dive here.
This camera.
To that camera.
Let's see.
Okay,
The
so
auto focuses really well too.
you can see that layer line there. I'm not certain, but I think that might have been when I opened up the printer to see if we could see it better due to the tint. I wouldn't hold that against this printer at this time. And even if that wasn't caused by me opening it up and changing the chamber temperature, that's still a pretty darn good print.
Yeah.
Um,
So one thing you had mentioned before about why that boat there is a good example is because of the undercuts and the angles and whatnot.
yes,
However, it naturally did not add any supports.
that's right. This print with no supports at all.
You mean that design?
Yep.
Okay.
There's a little marking in the bottom there, probably the person who designed it. But you get to see overhangs of different sizes on these portholes, the arch. That spout there, that's a hole. You can, it's that's why Benchy's such a popular test print. And you know what else is fun to do with them? Is you take a toothpick and you stick it in this little hole here, and you make a little paper flag, and you float it around and just have fun with your Benchy. But you've got kind of like a shingle effect here on the roof that came out great. You know, as a test print, I gotta call this a success by any measure. Like if you look at that arch, you've got, you know, like whenever you're 3D printing, the simple fact of printing is going to result in some effects like that. Every manufacturing process has manufacturing marks. It's how people that are experienced with these things can look at a thing and understand how it was made. Things like that, and those very, very fine layers, those are just 3D printing manufacturing marks. They'll always be there unless you sand it down. But yeah, this came out great.
All right. I think we're set.
I think so.
All right. Well, let me go back to our main. All right, everyone. This was the setup of our Bambu Labs
X1 carbon.
X1 carbon printer. Super excited to start using it. You'll be seeing it used a lot more often in some videos. And thank you all for your support, your continued support, especially as I'm still battling, you know, working my way through this, through my cancer, and you know, and little things like this help. And I love doing a stream like this. So we'll put some more links down in the description as well later on. And again, thank you for your support. But that's it for now. Again, special thanks to my brother Bill here. I'm going to try to get him to start his own channel now that he's got the 3D printer, and other things as well. So stay tuned. There's a lot more to come.